Hello and welcome to Money Tips. This is Charles Kelly. I wanted to talk to you quickly about the budget tomorrow. The budget in the UK means that the Chancellor, this is the guy in control of all the money, steps before Parliament, and he then lays out his literally his budget for the coming year, and announces lots of incentives or tax rises, tax cuts. And it really sets out the government's plan for the year in monetary terms. So that's what the budget is all about. And lots of things are held up to be announced on the day of the budget. And the big speculation at the moment in tomorrow's budget, which you can watch live from anywhere in the world it will be streamed live from Parliament by the BBC and others. And the big speculation at the moment is around stamp duty. So if you're a property buyer and you're going through a property purchase at the moment, you can avoid up to £15,000 worth of stamp duty on the sale on some of the larger properties anyway. And this concession ends at the end of March. So there's speculation as to whether the Chancellor will extend that for a period of a couple of months or whatever, to give people a chance to complete, because property purchases here are not quite the same as in other countries. When you buy a property, you could be in a chain of many people, and so you're buying from them, but they're buying from somebody else, and that person is buying from somebody else, and they all want to exchange and complete on the same day, obviously, and then the move takes place literally on the same day. So people, vans come to clear your house out in the morning, and then it arrives at the other house in the afternoon and loads the house that should be cleared by that time. That's in theory the way it should happen. Now, Zoopla, the online website for property, told the BBC that 70 to 80% of sales would be stamp duty free if they completed by the end of March, but as many as 300,000 sales could fall through if the stamp duty break is not extended. A lot of people might not have the money for this stamp duty, which is an obscene tax, by the way. It used to be just a straightforward 1%, and they've gradually increased it. And for property investors, they also pay a 3% levy. So you could buy a pretty ordinary property in London and be paying, £30,000-40,000 of this obscene tax called stamp duty. It's just ridiculous. But there you go. That's the government having to raise money to pay for all of this borrowing. So Zoopla also predicts that 20% of sales could literally fall out of bed. Could drop off in between April and June compared to the first quarter. This is because of that cliff edge situation where everyone's rushing to buy and then it all goes dead. That could happen. We don't know. At the end of the day, a few extra £1,000 here or there is probably not going to sway somebody one way or the other into buying their first home. But this has definitely made the market pick up a little bit. It certainly boosted the market during the coronavirus pandemic. The big thing that could help the property market is this possible mortgage guarantee to help buyers with only a 5% deposit. In other words, it would be a mortgage guarantee scheme to help buyers get on the ladder or buy a property with only a 5% deposit. And 95% mortgages have virtually disappeared during this period. And it's a new mortgage guarantee scheme backed by the government. We don't know all the details yet. And this scheme used to be run by insurance companies. Lenders have always usually lent 70-75% mortgages, loan to value. That means the loan compared to the value. So on a £100,000 house, lenders would traditionally lend people 75,000, and then if they wanted more, they used to have to pay a mortgage guarantee premium, insurance premium, and this would be an insurance policy to guarantee the lender that they would get their money back if the mortgage went into default. Because on a £100,000 property, you think the lender is more than safe on £75,000. But then if the borrower then goes into arrears and maybe doesn't pay their mortgage for 6 months, and then the property is empty, and then they're trying to repossess it, and then they have to put it into an auction, it could even fall below the 75% that was owed, and the 75% mortgage could have increased to 80-90% by the time all the arrears are added on and all the costs. So lenders then had this security of a premium, a policy backed by an insurance company that would make sure they got their money back. But these things were phased out. I think when the insurance companies lost a lot of money in the 90s, these sort of policies kind of disappeared, and they haven't been seen since. So now the government is trying to reintroduce them. We don't know quite how it will work. But obviously, builders and Barratt's and Persimmon and all these kind of builders are excited. And in fact, their shares rose by over 5% yesterday on this speculation of this news. So that potentially could have more long-term implications than just a stamp duty holiday to boost the market. And we could see another sort of property boom. I think property prices are already a little bit overpriced. They've been booming for so long now, as have shares. But this scheme could mean that we're going to see another boom and possibly even a bigger bubble at the end of it. But who knows? While money is cheap, it's easy to borrow fantastic amounts of money, isn't it? You know, when you thought about a mortgage of £100,000 was a lot of money years ago, because interest rates were 8, 9, 10. Even I paid 16% mortgage interest, 16 and a quarter on my first mortgage, and it was a killer because it'd gone up from 12% in 6 months, literally. So these things can change very quickly, and with all this money printing and this huge amount of money that in America they've passed, that Congress has passed a $1.9 trillion financial stimulus to go into road building and bridge building and general infrastructure building to boost the economy. And the UK last year borrowed 270 billion, and there's all this money going into things, and it could lead to inflation and then higher interest rates to keep inflation down. So somebody with a 1 or 2% mortgage today, if that mortgage went up by 1%, it could double their payments, because mortgage rates are so cheap now that people are quite happy to go out and borrow £500,000, 600, 700,000 pounds. Yes, happy days. And it's actually cheaper than renting at those low interest rates. But if interest rates go up in the future, people could be in trouble. Because if you think now you could borrow, £500,000 is a lot of money by anybody's standards, and properties sell for £500,000. Flats sell in London for that easily, first-time buyers, and £500,000, 1%. That's only sort of £5,000 a year interest plus your repayment, isn't it? So it's it's easy to borrow that sort of money, but if rates went to 10%, that's a big difference, isn't it? 10%. What's 10% of £500,000? 50,000 a year. That's a huge amount of money. 4,000 a month to be paying on your mortgage, and I'm not saying rates are going to go up by 10%, but they could jump from 1%. 1% interest on £500,000 is £5,000, but 2% is £10,000. That's double, and it's not a big jump to go from 1% to 2%. And also lenders can put their rates up regardless of the Bank of England rate. So just watch out for that. But I think this 95% mortgage scheme could fuel another boom in first-time buyers. Now then, other possible news in the budget: there could be a reduction in stamp duty. There could be help for businesses. There's a possible £126 million boost for a flexi-job traineeship scheme. In other words, it would be an incentive for employers to employ a trainee on some sort of apprenticeship scheme. There could be tax increases because the government have borrowed so much money, 270 billion last year. We could see some tax increases in some way to pay for it. It's bound to happen because we can't just keep on going like this. It has to be paid for at some time, and the Chancellor has already hinted at that. So we shall see. Now, Boris obviously announced a couple of weeks ago this roadmap out of the lockdown. So we could see, with this vaccination programme, we could see the economy bounce back in the summer. So what are your plans? Unemployment has reached record levels certainly in the last 5 years. It's jumped by from 1 million to 1,750,000. And a lot of people might be struggling. It's particularly hit the young people. So a lot of people have thought about maybe starting something online, starting their own business. Not a physical business like going renting a shop, that's crazy, but an online business. But they've perhaps tried to start the business and then it hasn't worked out. Perhaps the software they were using to get a website up and running through things like WordPress, or maybe a web developer let them down or charged them too much money. It just didn't work. Well, now there's a new free game-changing system software system to help you get your online marketing business started. It's actually free. You can actually get started with this free. It's not a gimmick where it's only free for a couple of weeks. This is free. You only start paying if you want to expand your number of websites, but you can start websites for free with a system called Groove Funnels. It really is the latest thing. It's a new way to build better funnels. When we say funnels, we're talking about web pages that sell, not just a standard blank website. It is a website in effect, but it's built as a funnel in order to move your customer from just looking at your website into maybe making a decision to buy something from you, because that's what a website is there for. At the end of the day, is hopefully like a shop window to get people to buy, and that's what funnels do. A lot of web developers don't understand what a funnel is. They just think it's a website. They can't think outside of the box or outside of the funnel, if you like. But this is a new system, and you can do it yourself. You don't need a web developer. It's very simple. They give all the training, and there's no fine print there. And to sign up, you don't even need to put your credit card down. When you see these free offers and you think, yeah, it's free, and then they say, leave your credit card details. We won't take anything from it, but it's just in case. You think, oh, doesn't that make you hesitate? And you think, no, I'm not going to do that, because later on, when I've forgotten all about it, they might start deducting after the end of the free trial. No, you can set up with this thing free, and they're not going to take your credit card details. Now, they're only doing this for a limited amount of time. It's really due to get, because Groove Funnels is so new, it's to get it going, and they've put this offer out there to really boost numbers and also test the system completely. So you've only got a limited amount of time to take advantage of this free offer. So I would definitely jump onto this, because you can get instant access to not just the software, but all you need to sell your products, including all the funnels you need with templates. So you can just click on that one. Oh, that looks nice. That's about house selling. Oh, that looks nice. That's about a business. Oh, that looks good. Just use it. Just click on the picture. You don't need to get things from Canva and all these sites and iStock photos. You've got it all there. It's fantastic. And it's brand new websites with navigation. You can get around those. You don't need to start bringing in developers to do that. Custom domain names if you want. One-click upsell capabilities, upsells, downsells, order bumps, all built into this system to help you get your business started. And there's a lot more. You can get credit card facilities, shopping cart facilities, and it could save you thousands of pounds, literally, by getting onto this. So I'm going to put a link up to this. Click on my link and start your free account today. Have a play around with it. As I said, you don't even need to put a credit card in, so it's definitely something worth looking into, and I would definitely grab that while you've got this opportunity now, because it could be a game changer. It could mean that you could quit your job. It could mean that this will be the system to enable you to finally live the lifestyle that you want to live. It could be that you like to travel more. It could be that you want to not just quit your job, but fire your boss. One day say, look, I've got this business going now. I'm firing you. I'm out of here. I'm making my living from home, working online, and this will help you. Even if you haven't got a product, you can get this started. Even if you haven't got a product right now, don't worry about inventing your own product or inventing the wheel. There's loads of products you can sell using this system. So have a look at the link, click on that, and you could change your life today. Thanks very much for listening, and have a great day. Bye for now.